Alright, so this is a test of the final base design. I set the warrior or the difficulty to warrior and the blood moon count to 16. When I turned the debug menu on after I loaded the game, for some reason it reset my day count to 16 instead of 36 because I just did the day 35 horde in the previous video. But the one thing that is higher is the game stage is now 125, and before I think it was only about 111 or 116. So it's just slightly higher than it was before. The only changes I've made to the base is I upgraded all the walls to forged steel and the inner platform bottom to forged steel. I moved the switch to the interior of the pyramid and just added bulletproof glass along the top edge there, so that way they can't jump through anymore, which did happen the last horde night. So we'll see how that goes this time. And then I also added some lights to the interior here as well. And then I also added solar panels hooked up to the battery banks. One thing I did find in testing this morning is with these connected to the battery bank and then both on and then turning the switch on, it doesn't pull power from the battery pack, it actually just pulls power directly from the solar bank. So you can't keep these turned on when you're trying to run your defenses at night. I think it's a bug with the way the system works, because it should be pulling power from here and then this should just be providing a little support to here, and then it shouldn't matter. But for some reason the game code only sees this as the final power source and ignores the battery bank completely. So what you have to do is turn off your solar banks. As you can see here, I have it off, and then that way you can pull your charge from here while you're running the horde nights. Now normal, after the horde night is over with, you can go ahead and turn your solar banks back on to recharge your batteries. But yep. So again, I just put my turrets up here in a cross fashion just for bird support. Still just got the 4 spotlights here on the outside. I replaced the hatch and the stair here with just steel, and it's something I would have done anyways, but I added these lights here, so 2 to each side. I just put them on the bulletproof glass just because I figured that was the best spread. That'll give us the most light usage going out. So we can still swing and fire down here as needed. The glass will just prevent them from being able to jump up and into the platform now. So I don't think they will path any differently now, because they should still see this as separate from this structure. So they'll just see it as something to beat on to get through, or they'll try to beat on here as they're sliding down. So I still think it should all be viable. So for this day, I went ahead and I got my Molotov cocktails, got my compound bow, I brought out my marksman rifle, put cripple mod and extender mod, and then I brought my M60 out. It's only level 4, that's all I've managed to find so far. But I did add a drum mag and a crippling mod to it just to get this going. And let's go ahead and dump my supplies back into my chest here. And I did just creative mode in some batteries instead of recharging these, because I didn't realize how fast these solar banks were going to recharge them. So that was kind of my bad there, but whatever, live and learn. And as you can see, I was just chopping down some trees waiting for the night to get over with. So let's go ahead and get that set up. And alright, let's make sure. And we'll go ahead and eat some food and water really quick, just to get us back up over 200. Alright, so as you can see, the outer defense is still just wood, flagstone in the corners, forged steel in the middle where the blade traps go. But again, the top up here is just reinforced concrete with wood in the center. So yeah, I haven't really touched any of the outer defenses. Still just the wood bars there, wood bars above there. They never bothered to touch any of those on the last Horde night, and that should be because I added the too wide gap there, and then I dug the floor out to be flat, so they shouldn't be catching on the edges anymore. Alright, so let's get back down in the hidey hole. And we'll go ahead and I'm going to turn my light off, and we're going to turn that on. And as you can see, ouch, too much light. I'm guessing only one light. Alright, let's do this. Let's go ahead and shut you off. Shut you off. Alright. So that's better. So with these lights, it's only like 206 watts. So with one on, it should only be like 196 watts. But like I said, I upped the difficulty to warrior, the blood moon count to 16. So let's see how this goes. And as you can see, we're already getting soldier zombies. I got some cops now. And with the warrior difficulty, increases their hit points. So this would be like playing multiplayer on normal mode right now. 2, maybe 3 people depending on your game stage. 2 cops at once. Kind of hoping to see definitely some radiated. I was kind of hoping to see a demolisher. If we had still been at day 36, I bet you that would have happened. Don't know why it brought me back to day 16 just by opening up the debug menu. So once I figure that out, I'll do the next test at day 37, just to see how it's going. Because all the upgrades I made to this base, I could have easily done in the normal 7-day period. I only used about 1,200 steel to upgrade everything, and I had that sitting in my base anyway, so yeah, I could have done it in one day if I really wanted to. Just for the sake of time and testing, I used the creative menu to do all the forged steel upgrade instead of waiting for the forges to crank that out. But it's definitely within my capacity to make without any issue. Oh, looks like we did have it radiated already. So yeah, once again, they're overloading that one section again. And one thing I did notice during the repairs is they were only coming in off the sides here. None of the center blade traps were taking any damage at all. So I'm thinking of maybe turning the center section into a solid section and then putting the blade traps on the exterior corners just to provide some extra pathing so they don't all try to come through the same 2 or 3 blade traps every single time. So I'm hearing a lot of soldier zombies going down because they do make that armor sound when they get hit, and that's how you can tell the difference between a soldier zombie and a regular one, because the cops don't have armor on them, you just hear them scream and spit, but the cops, you definitely get that armor sound, that clinking metal sound. The demolishers I'm not too sure about. I haven't really played with them too much. Even though my base is designed to take them on without an issue. Alright, let's see if we can get them off that blade trap. So like I said, they can make that jump, they just can't get in anymore. they're still coming from that one angle. They won't spawn anywhere else. And it's starting to worry me a bit. There it goes. Sounds like maybe they're finally starting to spawn. Well, looks like I missed 2 spots on the floor there. Yeah, well. Oh, yep, that blade trap finally wore out. Alright. So hopefully they'll start spawning. There we go. Alright. So far we've lost one of the internal blade traps. I'm guessing the exterior, 1 or 2 of them is down as well. But we'll see. Alright. Let's go ahead back to the fire trick just cause. So I think the trick with this is figure out which corner they're coming in at, and then stand at the opposite corner. So that way they won't bother trying to beat on any of the structure. They'll try to path around to you, and in that whole process, they will keep getting hit by the blade traps. So let's test this out. So they're coming in over there. Alright, so nope, the white's still trying to get up. Alright. Alright. So I heard the white beating. Yeah, looks like as soon as it recalculated my position, he started moving again and stopped beating on the structure. Alright. So I've gotten quite a few radiateds now. Go ahead and knock him back down into the blade traps. Alright. So it definitely sounds like the exterior blade traps are doing a lot of the work right now. Go ahead and get rid of these 2 guys. So it's looking like even endgame, this system will pretty much set you up as a passive system. You will still need to help out a little bit, but like I said, with this guard here with the bulletproof glass, you could just stand right here in the center, and they can't hit you melee range. The cops could still spit, but the rest of them you shouldn't have to worry about. The only thing I'm not completely positive on are the spider monkeys, because they have to stand up vertical, but to make the jump, which they would be able to jump through, they'd have to crouch down, but by the time they do that, they would slide down and then they wouldn't be able to make the jump in. So it is kind of Interesting to see if they would be able to do that. It does appear that we're getting a lot more radiated now. Alright, go ahead and stand back in the corner over here. Alright, so that blade trap just died. Alright, let's see if we can get them to path across these blade traps. So we lost both those blade traps. This one over here. So that's 3 traps down so far. But the horde's almost over with. And I don't know why she was doing that. So we're just gonna end this off really quick. Alright. Let's see how many blade traps we lost. Alright, still hit a few more out there. So we're gonna wait. Alright. Of course. Die, bitch. Okay. Let's go see if we have any zombie birds out here. Turn you on. And we'll turn you on. And turn you on. Alright. And yeah, as you can see, we chewed through a battery and a half. Go ahead and get this guy put away. Alright. So you all go there. Actually, that's what I want to do. Okay. There we go. You go in there as well. Alright, so let's take a look and see what damage was done. So again, they didn't touch the outer wooden structure at all. Alright, so that's not bad. That one's out of commission. Just a little damage here on the flagstone and again on the corner. So that's 2 of the exteriors down. That one's still good. That one's pretty close. So that's 3 of the exteriors. Flagstone's still good. That one's pretty close to being out of commission. Alright, so it looks like they took down 4 with 2 more that were pretty close to failing on the exterior. Then the interior, that one's down. So that's 1 so far. No damage on the walls though. There's 2. That one's pretty close. So 3. Yep. They took 3 of the internal wall. So I got 1. That one's pretty close. That one's pretty close. Alright, so they only took 1 of the pyramid and 2 that were pretty close to being knocked out. Just a little beating here. Not too bad. Alright, let's check this side. So that all looks good. So I think my strategy of moving to the opposite end, once they started coming in from an angle, seemed to work out quite well because they stopped jumping up and trying to do stuff. So I'm going to say go ahead and call this success. When I get the base repaired, I'm not going to upgrade anything. I'm just going to leave it as is. And then I'm just going to get this back down to day 37 again and up the difficulty again and see if we can get some demos and see how this place handles up. Alright.